Hi, I'm Melody.
I'm Candi.
And I'm Gabe.
And you're listening to
Quirks.
Bumps.
And Bruises.
Y'all, we are too connected. Everywhere you go, ain't nowhere you go anywhere that doesn't have a screen in front of you.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this going to be one of these moments for you?
It can be.
You want me to give you the opportunity?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Have mercy. I mean, y'all, I was pumping gas yesterday morning. Now, I've noticed this before, but it was right before I came in early to work. It was
Still dark outside.
Yes, it was like 5 in the morning. And I pull up, and before I'm out of my car, this little 8-inch screen on the gas pump is already screaming the daily deals at me, telling me what I should go in the convenience store and buy today, 2 for $1.
Slurpees were on sale. They
isn't
wanted you
even
to know.
open.
And not only, so I, go through, there's 14 steps now between your rewards card and your payment and your zip code. And no, I don't
Just
want that.
gas.
No, I don't want the car wash. Like, I just want gas.
Mm-hmm.
So start that, and then it comes up with, and the tip of the day is this. And it's so loud. And it's 5 in the morning. There's a few other people there, but it is echoing through the entire parking lot.
It has to break through all the noise of the world. Really, it does.
That's it. It's just noise, the noise of the world.
Background noise.
And then you get the word of the day. Then you get today's weather. All the stuff I can get on my phone. Everything if I really want a word of the day, if I want.
But you're not supposed
weather,
to use your phone at the gas station while you're pumping gas. So that's why they're doing it. So you don't have to be on your phone.
Cause your car blow up, right?
That's right.
There's enough electricity coming through these screens. If there's some static going to start a fire, I think these screens got it going on. But for real, though, and you go to a restaurant, if you just want to have a nice, quiet meal, you can't even do that because you go in, not even like a sports-themed place. You just go in anywhere.
Anywhere now.
You're surrounded by flat screens. You got the news and the game and the race and the weather and all this surrounding you. There's a kiosk on your table. You don't even pay your server anymore. You can sit there, put your credit card in, and play tic-tac-toe with somebody in China while you're waiting on your burger to be fixed.
Gabe, you are so right. We
What's the point?
went to an Olive Garden a year ago maybe. And they had that same situation, like a kiosk on your table, so you don't get bored while you wait for your food.
Because that would just be a tragedy.
I know.
To have 1 second of
without
nothing
some
going
kind
into your
of
brain.
computer.
You
I
know
know.
it's bad when you go to the fish camp and they have TV. Do y'all know that term, fish camp?
I do now. I didn't a few years ago.
I don't think I
now.
do.
Yeah, that's what it was called back in the day, the fish camp.
What is a fish camp?
Just a seafood place.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
But, when the
Blue
seafood
Plate
places
Special?
have TVs, and we watched, my husband and I, the other day we were out eating, and we were in a place where there were literally those huge screen TVs circling the entire restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally watched a child sitting with his parents, where to me that's a time to
Connect.
talk and, what was your best thing of your day today? What
Yeah,
was
you sit there and
the
visit.
yuckiest thing of your day today?
Yeah.
And just talking, dinner time,
Yeah.
conversation. And literally the child was just like this, like looking right up
Zombie-eyed.
above the parent's
Yeah.
head, at the TV. And I'm thinking, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
we got to so wrong.
Yeah, and that's completely normal.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an odd sight anymore. That is
They
what's
don't know
normal.
what to do without it.
Exactly.
That's the issue, is that it is an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I think technology has become first of all a babysitter,
Yeah,
and
that's
second, I'm seeing and sensing
true.
kids, because my kids are older. They didn't have all this technology, so I didn't have to worry about that as parents. But you two have to really
Fight it. You do.
and I'm sure sometimes it's easy. You go home and you're tired. You would love to give
It is
Hunter
easy.
an iPad and say, watch,
Right.
Peppa
And
the
I don't want
Pig.
to. I don't want to watch. Right. And I don't want to watch that on the big screen. We're going to watch a family show. Why don't you get on your iPad? Or mommy needs to do her makeup. Can you sit here and do your iPad? So let me tell you, there are some good things. We do a lot of educational apps and different things on an
Right.
iPad.
Oh, yeah.
But I am a stickler. Like if we are eating dinner or if we are out somewhere, talk to me, look at me, and I want him to grow. Sometimes I feel like I'm always get off your iPad, get off your phone, that kind of a person. And I don't want to be the bad guy where they don't even want to communicate with me anymore. But I am just very, very jealous of that time. Like, I want you to talk to me, and I want to know what's going on in your life. And so it is that balance of just that's how it is now. I'll tell my husband, he's like, you know what, Candy? That's how it is now. Jacob will say, Candy, you're just going to have to get used to it. It's just different from when we were little. I'm like, well, when I was little, we went outside and we, played with sticks and different things. And now,
use your imagination.
Yes, and their idea of fun is, well, I want to play that stick game online, or I want to do that. So I really have, and I sit here, I have a phone right beside of me. We're always connected, and we're always going to be connected. And there are some good things about that, but it is, I'm a stickler for some get off the screen time.
Yeah, and it's ironic we're talking about this, and people are listening and watching on their
By way
phones
of-
or the computers
right.
or whatever. But the thing that kills me is it was supposed to be like technology or smartphones. Think back to your first flip phone and how that was just revolutionary.
And you
that
had to buy
didn't-
minutes.
You had to buy minutes, and you didn't have to wait until you got to your destination, pull out a quarter, and go to a payphone and call somebody and let them know, I'm here. Just let me know when you get. Like that was revolutionary. You now have a phone in your pocket or a phone in your car. Like that's cool. And then it's evolved from making your life simpler to making your life easier and simplifying to smartphones. Well, now you can keep your calendar in here and you can plan out your day and you can have everything in one place. But instead of making our lives simpler and better, I feel like for me, it just complicates and convolutes and it's just more stuff instead of a purpose to make life simpler. For me, at least, it's just one more thing that I would love to throw over the hill and not ever mess with again because it just busies our life and just
and it's
crowds
exhausting.
It is.
It really is. And it's funny to me because here lately I've noticed a lot of commercials for vacations. And they'll say, hey, put the phone away, go to rent this cabin in the middle of the woods where you don't have Wi-Fi and all these different things. So it's funny that we now look at those things as like getting away, vacation, and putting our phones down, talking to our family, sitting around a campfire. And it is funny.
I noticed when I go visit my dad, there is a house right across the street from him that has a family with like 4 kids. And apparently this family is pretty much a no electronic type family.
Good for them.
Or they have set aside certain parts of the day where they cannot do that. And so it makes me smile because when I'm driving up to my dad's house, the little girl is doing cartwheels in the grass, and the older boy is shooting hoops in the basketball, and the 2 little ones are playing hide and seek around bushes
Together,
and they're using their imagination. And I say that because one of the greatest or one of the worst things I think that, and I see it in me with technology, is we have stopped thinking. We have stopped learning the ability to be able to think through things on our own because our phone tells us everything we need to know.
And sometimes it's okay to not know the answer to every single question you ask Google.
Or
How
just
many
to
times
have,
do y'all Google something a day?
Oh,
yeah.
Like
more than I'd like to share.
Yeah. I mean, if I need to know something, we Google it. But I think what that teaches, especially with children, is you're not learning to process and to think out. And maybe that's the teacher part of me talking.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
To think out something in your mind and be able to just work it out that way instead of just going and trying to Google it.
Oh, yeah.
And finding the answer that way in like 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
So back to the example of pumping gas. I mean, start to finish, what's it take? 3, maybe 4 minutes total. I don't know, less than 5, right at 5, to pump your gas, start to finish. But even now, just in that less than 5 minutes, they are pumping information or something into it. We can't even have that time to just be quiet. Or even, I have a really crazy idea, y'all. How long has it been since you said hi to the person that's pumping gas right beside you? You can't do it now because you have to scream over top of the screens that are screaming at you. Have you heard the word of the day?
Yeah.
No one cares.
And this
no
is
one
even
cares.
There's a great word of the day, but it's not found on that screen, right?
Right, exactly. But like,
Google it.
you can't even interact and even like say hi to someone that's pumping gas beside you.
And I'm a people person. I love people, and I will seek out people to talk to a lot of times. But I even find that like the world has trained you to not communicate with people.
Because if you're standing in line where you could talk to somebody, they're on their phone.
They're on their phone.
They're standing there,
Every
and
person.
you feel like you're interrupting them, so you don't do it.
You really do.
Every person.
And then another whole side of that, I think, is because of all that has junked up our minds. Where is God in all that?
Exactly.
Where do we fit God? Is it like over here in this far corner? And I think this is maybe sounding old fashioned to you two youngins that they're sitting here in front of me, but I feel like the enemy has used technology to really destroy our ability to be still and know that He is God.
Oh, yes.
Do you feel that way?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not trying to be all over spiritual or anything, because I agree that technology has there are people that have learned about Jesus in the uttermost parts of the earth because of technology. That is fantastic. But a lot of it is just stuff that we don't need in our lives. And I mean, how many times do we, and I'm guilty, I'm admitting right here, I pick up my cell phone before I pick up my Bible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of times I lay down at night before I go to sleep and I'll grab my phone and just scroll or just look at things. And I'm like, what? Something will hit me. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I don't need anything. I'm not looking for anything. It's just become that habit, like pick it up, check it, look and see what's going on. And it really is just, it's just so nice when you're not surrounded by it. And I just hope and pray that my children will grow up and knowing that. And my stepson, who is 10, has his own phone at that early age, and he didn't play with it a lot while we were there. He plays some games and does different things, and he didn't do that while we were on our trip. But on the way home, he said, okay, you can play it. So he was on it, I feel like almost the entire trip home, which sounds horrible. But I was just looking out the window and seeing we went to the mountains, seeing those mountains on the way home and the beautiful trees. And my 4-year-old, who was, didn't have any technology, was like, Mommy, it was just beautiful. And then I'd turn around and I'd think, Wyatt, and he's on his phone, he missed it. So just, that made me think, how much am I missing every single day, just in everyday life, being so connected?
If you think back to whenever we very first started using the internet, if you can imagine a life without it, it was kind of created as an escape from reality.
Yeah.
Like you've got work and you've got all this stuff to do. And then the internet is like, oh, I can escape into, and play games and, before everything work-based.
I can buy groceries online.
Yeah, like it was like this escape from reality. Like, let me go to the internet
I'm
and
not giving up.
Me either.
and do this fun stuff. But now it's done a total flip-flop. Now our entire lives are internet-based. And now to escape reality,
put the phone
we
down.
Unplug.
Yeah.
It's done a complete flip-flop.
It has.
In like what, 20 years, less than 20 years,
yeah.
Our entire culture has went from escape from reality, go on, computer, phone, whatever, to now is escape reality, unplug, go to the cabin without service,
right?
Go somewhere with no Wi-Fi, do it for a weekend, and it'll revolutionize your life. And
right.
We've done a complete flip-flop.
It was like a good friend of mine once said, you can't have nothing because if you do, somebody's going to come along and mess it up.
That's right.
And that's what we've done. We have just messed it up.
Yeah.
So, all right, you two, you ready for a technology sabbatical?
Yes. I will start yesterday.
Let me check my calendar and see if I can.
Thanks for listening to the Quirks, Bumps, and Bruises podcast with Melody, Candi, and Gabe. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. You can learn more at joyfm.org.